Picture this. You arrive at the airport, bags packed, excitement building for your trip, only to be stopped at security and told you can't board your flight. No refund, no second chances, just watching your vacation disappear because you didn't know about a rule that changed while you weren't paying attention. This nightmare scenario is about to become reality for millions of travelers in 2026 if they don't know what's coming. Welcome back to the channel. If you're planning to fly anywhere in 2026, whether it's across the country or across the ocean, this video could literally save your trip. We're talking about the biggest shakeup in air travel since 9/11, with new rules that affect every single step of your journey from the moment you book to the moment you land. And here's the kicker. Most travelers have absolutely no idea these changes are happening. Let's start with something that's already catching people off guard right now. The real ID deadline isn't coming, it's already here. As of May 7th, 2025, that old driver's license you've been using for years might not get you through security anymore. Look at the top right corner of your license right now. Do you see a gold or black star? If not, you have a problem. Without that star, your license is worthless at TSA checkpoints, even for domestic flights within the United States. Your only alternatives are a valid passport, military ID, or one of a handful of other federally approved documents. And before you think this won't affect you, consider this. 6% of travelers, about 140 million passengers annually, still don't have compliant identification. But wait, it gets more expensive. Starting February 1st, 2026, if you show up without a real ID or passport, the TSA isn't just going to wave you through after a few extra questions anymore. They're launching something called TSA Confirm.ID, and it's going to cost you $45. That's right, $45 per person, and here's what makes it even worse. Paying that fee doesn't guarantee you'll be allowed to fly. The process takes between 10 to 30 minutes, sometimes longer during peak travel times. You'll answer a series of identity verification questions, provide biometric information, and if the system can't confirm who you are, you're denied boarding, and you lose your $45 plus the cost of your ticket. And that verification, it only lasts 10 days. After that, you pay another $45. Your identity apparently expires like milk. And yes, before you ask, facial recognition is still technically voluntary. You can opt out by simply telling the TSA officer you'd prefer a manual check. But here's the reality. At a busy airport during peak hours, choosing the manual line could add serious delays to your trip while everyone else breezes through the biometric gates. The system is designed to make opting out inconvenient enough that most people just go along with it. Let's talk about something that's causing massive confusion right now: the liquid rules. For nearly 20 years, we've lived by the 3-1-1 rule: liquids in 3.4-ounce bottles, all in one quart-sized bag. Well, the TSA has started deploying advanced CT scanners that can see through your bag with incredible 3D detail. And at airports with this new technology, you can leave your liquids and laptops inside your carry-on. No more fumbling to pull everything out. Sounds great, right? Here's the problem. Only 285 out of 435 airports with security checkpoints have these scanners. That means you might fly out of a major hub like JFK with everything in your bag, only to be stopped at a smaller airport on your return trip and told to unpack it all. The official TSA policy is still the 3-1-1 rule nationwide. Full deployment of CT scanners? That's at least a decade away. So here's the pro move. Pack as if the old rules still apply everywhere. Keep your liquids in a clear bag ready to be pulled out, and if the airport has the new scanners, consider it a bonus. Now, if you're planning a trip to Europe, pay very close attention because 2 massive new systems are rolling out that will completely change how you enter the continent. The first is called EES, the Entry Block Exit System, and it started its progressive launch on October 12, 2025. By April 10, 2026, it will be fully operational at all border crossings in 29 European countries. Here's what this means for you. The days of passport stamps are over. Instead, when you arrive at any of these 29 countries, which include all the popular destinations like France, Spain, Italy, Greece, and Portugal, you'll provide fingerprints and a facial scan at a kiosk. The system then digitally tracks your stay and automatically calculates how many days you have left on your 90-day limit within any 180-day period. No more counting stamps or trying to figure out if you're about to overstay. The computer knows exactly where you are. The second system is ETIAS, the European Travel Information and Authorization System, and this one is expected to launch in the last quarter of 2026, somewhere between September and December. Think of it like the ESTA program the US uses, but for Europe. Once ETIAS is active, if you're a US citizen traveling to any of 30 European countries, you must apply online before you board your flight. The application costs about 7 to 8 euros, and the good news is that most approvals come through within minutes. Once approved, your ETIAS authorization is valid for 3 years or until your passport expires, whichever comes first. There will be a 6-month transitional period, followed by a 6-month grace period, so you won't be refused entry immediately if you don't have it. But make no mistake, after those grace periods end, no ETIAS means no entry. And here's a critical detail most people miss. Your passport must be valid for at least 3 months beyond your intended departure date from Europe for ETIAS to be approved. If your passport is set to expire too soon, you'll need to renew it first. Let's shift gears and talk about carry-on luggage, because airlines are cracking down harder than ever before, and it's all about money. That slightly oversized carry-on you've been sneaking through for years? Those days are numbered. Airlines have adopted a new universal standard, 22 by 14 by 9 inches, or 56 by 36 by 23 centimeters. Gate agent discretion is disappearing, replaced by automated bag sizers. If your bag is even an inch too big, you'll be flagged for a fee, and those fees can be double what you would have paid to check the bag online. We're talking $50 to $100 or more in surprise charges right at the gate. But size isn't the only issue anymore. Weight limits are finally being enforced. Most airlines are setting the cap between 8 and 10 kilograms, which is 17 to 22 pounds. That might sound reasonable until you realize your laptop, a pair of shoes, and a few changes of clothes can easily push you over that limit. Airlines in Asia and Australia have been weighing carry-ons for years, and now it's spreading worldwide. Virgin Australia announced they'll start enforcing weight limits in 2026. Automated weigh-in systems are being installed at check-in kiosks and boarding gates. If your bag tips the scale, it's getting checked, and you're paying the fee. Your personal item is also under more scrutiny now. That backpack or purse? It must fit fully under the seat in front of you without bulging or blocking airflow. If it doesn't, gate agents can now reclassify it as a second carry-on and charge you accordingly. The only way to win this game is to be prepared before you leave home. Measure your bags, weigh them, and make sure they comply with your airline's exact limits. Now let's talk about something that could literally get you kicked off a flight: lithium batteries. The most important rule hasn't changed. All spare lithium batteries and power banks must be in your carry-on luggage. They are strictly forbidden in checked bags because of fire risk, but enforcement is getting much stricter. Check your battery's watt-hour rating, clearly labeled as WH on the battery itself. Most personal devices are under 100 watt-hours, and you're fine. Between 100 and 160 watt-hours, you need airline approval before you fly. and you're limited to 2 spare batteries. Cross 160 watt-hours, and that battery is completely banned from passenger aircraft. If your battery isn't labeled, you could be forced to discard it at security. Smart luggage is a major focus now. If your bag has a built-in battery and that battery is not easily removable by hand, meaning you need a tool to take it out, that bag isn't allowed on US airlines at all, whether as carry-on or checked. And here's the new rule specifically for powered mobility devices. Starting January 11th, 2026, removable lithium batteries used in electric wheelchairs and scooters will have a maximum limit of 300 watt-hours. Always remove batteries before gate checking a bag. The Lufthansa Group has already been charging environmental fees since January 2025, ranging from 2 to 72 euros per ticket for flights from the EU, UK, Norway, and Switzerland. Virgin Atlantic announced they're rolling out similar charges within the next 18 months. These fees are often buried in your ticket's tax breakdown, so a fare that looks cheap at first might cost significantly more. Let's end on some actually good news for travelers. The Department of Transportation has finally given passengers real protection when flights are disrupted. Rules that took effect in October 2024 mandate automatic cash refunds for canceled or significantly changed flights. For the first time, the DOT has officially defined what a significant change means: a delay of 3 hours or more for domestic flights and 6 hours or more for international flights. It also covers changes to your airport or adding an extra connection. If this happens and you choose not to travel, the airline must provide an automatic prompt refund in your original form of payment, not a voucher. You don't have to ask for it, you don't have to fight for it, it's automatic. Refunds must be issued within 7 business days for credit card purchases and 20 calendar days for other payment methods. The rule also covers baggage fees if your bag is delayed more than 12 hours on a domestic flight. If you paid for Wi-Fi that doesn't work or a seat selection you didn't get, you get that money back too. So let's recap everything you absolutely need to know. First, check your ID right now. If your driver's license doesn't have a star, get it updated or commit to carrying your passport for all flights. That $45 confirm.ID fee starting in February is not a safety net. It's a last resort that doesn't even guarantee you'll fly. Second, biometric screening is spreading fast, and while you can technically opt out, prepare for delays if you do. Third, pack your liquids as if the 311 rule still applies everywhere, because in most airports, it does. Fourth, if you're headed to Europe, understand that EES is already rolling out and ETIAS is coming by the end of 2026. Both are mandatory, and your passport needs to be valid for at least 3 months beyond your trip. Fifth, measure and weigh your carry-on bags before you leave home because airlines are done letting things slide. Sixth, know your battery watt-hour ratings and keep all spares in your carry-on. And finally, if your flight is significantly delayed or canceled, you're entitled to an automatic refund, so don't let airlines pressure you into taking vouchers. Air travel in 2026 is a completely different game than it was just a couple of years ago. These aren't minor tweaks to existing rules. These are fundamental changes to how identity is verified, how borders are controlled, how airlines manage space and weight, and how your rights are protected when things go wrong. The travelers who thrive are the ones who know the rules before they step foot in an airport. Don't be the person learning about these changes while watching your trip fall apart. If this video helped you avoid even one surprise fee or travel disaster, smash that like button and subscribe because we're staying on top of every rule change that affects your travel in 2026 and beyond. Drop a comment below telling me which rule shocked you the most. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.